Students, in this video, I am going to discuss quasi-Newton method, and in this category, we will discuss Broyden method, which is one of the quasi-Newton method. Okay, so here, what is the Newton method, which we have already discussed in previous video. So according to the Newton method, this is also known as Newton-Raphson method. Okay, so according to Newton method, to solve system of non-linear equations, f of x is equal to 0, where f is f1x, f2x, fnx, and x is n tuple x1, x2, xn transpose. Okay, so we are working in n dimension. We have f functions. Similarly, we have n dimensional problem. Okay, so we have xk plus 1 is equal to xk minus jk inverse f of xk. This is our Newton-Raphson method or Newton method. Both are same. Fine. Okay, so here in short we can write down this as xk plus 1 is xk minus jk inverse fk. Here k is 0, 1, 2. So this is equation number 1. What is xk? Xk is nothing but x1k, x2k, xnk. That means kth iterate. Similarly, jk is the Jacobian, which is nothing but del f1 by del x1, del f1 by del x2, del f1 by del xn, and so on. And last row is del fn by del xn, del fn by del x2, del fn by del xn. These are evaluated at point xk. That's why this is jk. Now the third term is fk, which is nothing but f at xk. That means f1, f2, fn. All are evaluated at point xk. Fine. Now what is the difficulty? Difficulty is this inverse. At every stage, if problem is 2 by 2, then there is no such type of problem. But as the dimension increases, say for the n dimension, you have to compute inverse at every stage or at every iteration, which is very difficult. Okay, so this is the major difficulty. So a major difficulty with Newton method is that it requires calculation of Jacobian matrix or inverse at each iteration. So that's why we have a variation of Newton's method. Involves use of Jacobian matrix computed only at beginning of the iterations. Okay, so in quasi-Newton method, basically here we are having variations of this Jacobian. That's why this is known as Jacobian. This is known as quasi. Quasi means we are approximated the Jacobian. We will not use the exact Jacobian, rather than we will use the approximate Jacobian, and that's why the name is quasi. This means quasi means approximation. Fine. So here we have generally used, we will have two types of approximations. One is Jacobian is changed periodically with less frequency than the iterations. Okay, that means we will set that we will not find the inverse at every stage. For example, we will update our inverse after say 5 number of iterations. That means initially we will compute the Jacobian inverse, then after 5 iteration we will update this, then we will update the at 10th iteration periodically, not at every iteration. Okay, this is one way. Another one is use approximate Jacobian, which is calculated by previously calculated Jacobian from previous iteration. That means we will compute Jacobian inverse say initially, then we will use this, or and so this initial Jacobian inverse is denoted by say J naught inverse. Then we will find out the J1 inverse with the help of J naught inverse. Then we will find out J2 inverse with the help of J1 inverse. That means we will update the Jacobian inverse with the help of previously calculated Jacobian inverse. So we will have actually the relationship between previously computed Jacobian and next Jacobian inverse, and we will use this relation to update to find out the next iterate. So that's why we have two types of strategies. So in this Broyden's method, basically we will use the second approach. Okay, that means we will use the relationship between the next previously calculated Jacobian inverse and the Jacobian inverse, which will be used for the next iteration. So we will have a relationship. So now the target is to find out this relationship so that we will have this Jacobian inverse, and once we are having Jacobian inverse, then we will compute the next iterate. So this is the strategy. Okay, so to apply Quasi-Newton method, generally we will adopt second approach when k is tending to k plus 1. If norm of xk plus 1 minus xk is not too large, that means this error is basically not too large, then jk plus 1 is close to jk. When this difference is very close to 0, then we can say that jk plus 1 is close to jk under the following rank 1 update. Under the following one rank update, this is the one rank update, and this is basically known as Broyden's update. This is inspired by secant method. Secant method we have already developed in one dimension problem. So this is basically the secant method, you can say that, for the multi-dimensional problem. Okay, so here what is we already aware about jk, Jacobian. So you can see that jk plus 1 means Jacobian for the next iterate, or the k plus 1th iterate, is equal to Jacobian for the kth iterate plus yk and zk transpose. Both are vectors, and these two vectors yk and zk are two vectors that depends on xk. They will depend on xk plus 1, fk and fk plus 1. So these two vector basically depends upon xk plus 1, fk and fk plus 1, which are to be evaluated. So our next target is to evaluate yk and zk. Okay, so now to find out the yk and zk, basically, now from the equation number 1, here this is written here, xk plus 1 is xk minus jk inverse fk. Okay, so now if you will write down this xk in the left hand side, so we will take this xk plus 1 minus xk, and this difference is basically denoted by delta xk. So this delta xk, and now you can take this pre-multiply by jk inverse. So you can take this inverse in the left hand side and multiply by this difference. So we can write down this as jk delta xk is equal to minus and fk. So this is basically the same equation. Only the difference is that we will take this xk in the left hand side, and the difference xk plus 1 minus xk is denoted by delta xk, and then we will multiply this jk inverse in the left hand side rather than in the right hand side. Here is the inverse in the left hand side, this will become jk. So jk delta xk is equal to minus fk. This is equation number 3rd. Okay, so now here the functional change, the change, since when x changes, f is also changes. So the functional change is fk plus 1 minus fk. This is the functional value at k plus 1th iterate. This is the functional values at kth iterate, and the difference is denoted by delta fk. This is equation number 4. Now we will impose two conditions. One is this, another one is this. What is the first condition? jk and jk plus 1 will predict same change in direction perpendicular to delta xk. That means if you multiply this by say direction vector r, then the value jkr is equals to jk plus 1r. They will provide the same change in the direction perpendicular to delta xk. So this r is basically the direction perpendicular to delta xk. Okay, so this is the direction vector which is perpendicular to delta xk, and this product is equal to this product. They will provide the same change. So this is equation number 5. So here r is perpendicular to delta xk. Second, jk plus 1 predicts for delta xk the same delta fk in linear expansion. That means jk plus 1 delta xk, this will provide you the same change as we obtained by this fk in the kth iterate. Whatever we have, we can evaluate this with the help of jk plus 1 also. Okay, so jk plus 1 delta xk, this is equal to delta fk. So we will use these two conditions to find out xk and yk and zk, sorry. Okay, so this is equation number 6. So these are our conditions which we have imposed. So now post multiply r in equation number 2. What is equation number 2? Equation number 2 is this. This is our equation. So post multiply. So multiply r here and r here. So what we will have? We will have this. Jk plus 1 r is equal to jk r plus yk zk transpose r. This is equation number 7. Okay. But according to this first condition, both are equal to each other, so they will be cancel out. So only we have this term is equal to 0. Okay. So this implies, now if yk transpose is assumed as non-zero quantity, so this quantity, this product should be 0. So because either this product, this is 0, or either this is 0, either this is 0 or either this is 0, that's why the product is 0. So since this is for non-zero yk, we have taken yk as non-zero, because if we will take yk as 0, then what will happen here? Yk is 0, so ultimately this quantity will be 0. There will be no change in Jacobian, so that's why there is no update here. So that's why we can say that yk should be non-zero quantity. So hence we can say that for non-zero yk, this product should be 0, and this is denoted by 8. In the first assumption, we have already taken that this r is perpendicular to delta xk. We have already taken this. That means the product delta xk and r should be 0, and hence delta xk transpose into r is also 0, because they are perpendicular to each other with the help of this condition. Okay. So if you compare 8 and 9, this is equal to 0, this is equal to 0. That means this quantity should be equal to this quantity, or we can say that they are parallel to each other. So that's why zk is equal to delta xk. So now we have zk. So now zk is with us. So the now unknown is yk. So put this zk, which is equal to delta xk, in equation number 2. So in equation number 2, so we get jk plus 1 is equal to jk plus yk delta xk transpose. Okay. Now unknown is yk. Now post multiply by delta xk in this equation. So what we will have? Jk plus 1 delta xk is equal to jk delta xk plus yk delta xk transpose delta xk. This is equation number 10. What is? Now we will use equation number 6 here. If you will 6, this quantity and this quantity both are same, that's why we can replace this quantity by delta fk. So delta fk is equals to jk delta xk plus yk delta xk transpose delta xk. From here we can find out yk. So just take this quantity in the left hand side. So delta fk minus jk divided by delta xk divided by this quantity. So delta xk transpose delta xk. Okay. And this is your yk. Now put this yk herein. So what we will have? Jk plus 1 is equal to jk plus yk. Yk is this quantity. So delta fk minus jk delta xk divided by delta xk transpose delta xk and delta xk transpose. So this is equation number 11th. Okay. But what is the problem? Problem is, so we will discuss this problem. But what we can do? We can replace this index by, or reduce this index by 1. So in place of k plus 1, we can write down k here. So here should be k minus 1. Here should be k minus 1. Here should be k minus 1. Here should be k minus 1, k minus 1, k minus 1, k minus 1. And hence this is the equation. Jk is equal to jk in minus 1 delta fk minus 1 minus jk minus 1 delta xk minus 1 divided by delta xk minus 1 transpose delta xk minus 1 multiply by delta xk minus 1 transpose. Okay, this is equation number 11 dash, where delta fk minus 1 is fk minus 1, the difference between two functional values. Similarly, delta xk minus 1 is delta xk minus 1. Then from first, what is first? This first equation is this equation, which is Newton method. Here we need inverse actually, but here up to this we have evaluated only jk, so we need jk inverse. So still the problem is same. What should be the jk inverse? This is our equation number 1. So still We have evaluated only jk, but our target is to find out jk inverse. Okay, so but here we need number of scalar functional evaluation, which is reduced from n square plus n to n. So we have actually reduced the number of functional evaluations from n square plus n to n, but still require lots of calculation to find out this inverse. So to find out this inverse, we will use Sherman-Morrison. To improve this or to simplify the jk inverse computation, we use Sherman-Morrison formula. So Sherman-Morrison formula, and according to this formula, this is basically the Sherman-Morrison formula from here to here. This is basically the Sherman-Morrison formula. What is the formula? If A is a non-singular matrix and x and y are vectors with y transpose A inverse x is not equals to -1, then A plus xy transpose is non-singular and evaluated with this formula. This is basically the Sherman-Morrison formula. A plus xy transpose and then whole inverse is equal to A inverse minus A inverse x y transpose A inverse divided by 1 plus y transpose A inverse x. So this is the Sherman-Morrison formula. So here we will use this formula to find out jk inverse. Okay, so we can say that this is actually jk, then its inverse. So what is jk? According to this, jk is this. So if you compare, then here a is basically this. What is x? This is your x, this quantity. What is y? Y is this quantity. Okay, so just to compute jk inverse, use this formula by setting a is jk, which is taken from here. What is x? X is this quantity, delta fk minus 1 minus jk minus 1 delta xk minus 1 divided by delta xk minus 1 transpose delta xk minus 1. What is y? Y is this quantity. So delta xk minus 1. Substitute these values herein in this formula. So we have this, which is jk minus 1 plus this is your x and this is your y transpose inverse. This is equal to A inverse. A inverse is this, the inverse of this. So jk minus 1 minus A inverse. A inverse means inverse of this quantity, jk minus 1 inverse. Then x. What is x? X is this quantity. So delta fk minus 1 minus jk minus 1 delta xk minus 1 divided by delta xk minus 1 transpose delta xk minus 1. Okay, then this quantity, and then we have y transpose. Y is this, so its transpose is this, delta xk minus 1 transpose. Then we have A inverse. A inverse is the inverse of this quantity, so jk minus 1 inverse divided by 1 plus, so 1 plus y transpose. Y transpose means this transpose, so this delta xk minus 1 transpose. Then A inverse. A inverse means the inverse of this quantity, jk minus 1 inverse, and then x. So this is x. This is your x. Okay, this is your x. So this is your, so this is all about the right hand side. This Sherman-Morrison formula we have used. Okay, so jk inverse, that means A inverse. So we have replaced the value of A from here. We have replaced the value of x from here. We have replaced the value of y from here. So all these values are replacing. So what we have, we will get this relation. Okay, then here simplification is done herein. So jk inverse is equal to jk minus 1 minus jk minus 1 inverse delta fk minus delta fk delta xk minus transpose jk minus 1 inverse divided by delta xk minus 1 transpose delta xk minus 1 plus delta xk minus 1 transpose jk minus 1 inverse delta f of xk minus delta xk minus 1 transpose into delta xk minus 1. Okay, so here after simplification, this term is cancelled out with this term, both are same term, and here is minus sign, so they will be cancelled out. So we get this term. Okay, and this is basically the updation. This is the Broyden's updation. Okay, so once using this formula, you can easily find out JK inverse. Once you have JK inverse, then put this value in this Newton's method and find out the next iterate. Okay, so this is the approach. I think you understand. So now what will be the final formula? So this computation requires only order of h square arithmetic calculations, order of n square, sorry, n square calculations. So thus we have concluded that to solve f of x is equal to 0, if you are applying Newton's method, then this is the approach. Xk plus 1 is equal to xk minus jk inverse fk, where k is 0, 1 to n, and jk is given by this Jacobian matrix, xk is given by this x1 transpose, x2 transpose, xn x2k transpose, and then fk is f1x, f2x, fnx at point xk. If you are applying Broaden's method, then xk plus 1 is given by xk minus jk inverse fk. That means same formula, but the only change is that to find out this jk, we will use this updation. So jk inverse is jk minus 1 inverse plus delta x k minus 1 minus jk minus 1 inverse delta fk minus 1, this, then delta xk minus 1 transpose jk minus 1 inverse divided by delta xk minus 1 transpose jk minus 1 inverse delta f of k minus 1, where k is 1, 2, 3, and xk is as it is same, x1k, x2k, xnk transpose, fk is as it is same, f1x, f2x, fnx at point xk. So formula is same, only the difference is this updation. Okay, here we have to compute jk inverse at every stage. However, here computed but with the help of previously computed Jacobian inverse. This is the only difference. Fine. Now we will have the problem, and I will discuss this problem in the next video. Thank you.